The important thing, though, about the technology is that it's GPU based. And what this means is that we can get phenomenal performance, particularly when rendering a complex transparency.
Hi, this is Dave Zwang with What They Think. And with me is David Stevenson, who is the product manager for Global Graphics. And David, great to see you again.
Yep, nice to see you too, David.
So David, we're here to talk about something new that you guys have come up with, but it's not new because it's Mako and you're in version 8. So what
Right.
what's new?
Okay, so well, back at the end of April, we launched Mako 8. But the big new thing with that was the introduction of the Apex technology. And what that is a GPU-based renderer. So Mako has always had a renderer built inside it, um, and based on the JAWS technology, which was one of the RIP offerings from Global Graphics back in the day. And we had a few customers, particularly in the large format space, with JAWS, but more recently, it's just become part of Mako, and it's a way we turn PDF and other PDLs into, raster for printing, etc., and for visualizing. Apex is a slight departure in that it's GPU based, and we claim that we're the first fully GPU based renderer of PDLs, and I use PDL, meaning print description language, advisedly, because Mako supports not just PDF, but also PCL, PCL XL, PostScript, and some other formats as well, like weird ones like IJPDS. The important thing, though, about the Apex technology is that it's GPU based. And what this means is that we can get phenomenal performance, particularly when rendering a complex transparency. The kind of transparency that takes a CPU a long time to do all of the complex calculations that you have to do to work out what a color a particular pixel should be, given its position in in the stack of things that it's around, and its transparency settings and all of those kinds of things, whether it's overprint, etc. When you move that kind of calculation onto the GPU, you can get some phenomenal performance. So we're seeing 10, 15 times speed of compared to JAWS. It doesn't apply to every kind of job, but particularly for some of the jobs that customers have come to us with, which are a real struggle to print at speed, either with our JAWS technology, sometimes even with the Harlequin RIP as well. And Apex is able to take that into its stride. We're quite excited about it. We've had some early adopter customers take a look at Apex and sign on for it, and they're using it in their own development right now, and we're helping them implement that.
So let me ask you a question. I mean,
Sure.
Mako is really designed or marketed as kind of the if you will, what's inside of many DFEs at this point that are out there in the market. What is as a renderer? What
Okay.
are there specific types of applications that are suited for Mako
Right.
or Harlequin, for example? Because I know you guys have both.
Sure. And and both of those technologies are used in things like smart DFE.
Right.
So Mako is what we call a print SDK. So that means it's an SDK that deals with PDF, but it's particularly tuned to the needs of print. So it's for building print workflow components, things which are going to change color, to apply curves to your file, to do color conversion, to convert PDFs to standards such as PDFX. We have customers using Mako just to do very simple conversion to PDFX4, for example, because then they know that they've got a file that the RIP is going to be able to accept. Because if it meets those kind of standards, another standard that you're familiar with, the GWG standard, So Mako's able to render PDF, to render the GWG suite to meet compliance. And we've just been accepted by GWG and gained compliance not only for the JAWS renderer in Mako, but also the new Apex renderer as well. One of the interesting things about Apex, which I often say, is that the Apex technology, although it's relatively new, we've been able to mature it very quickly just because we've been able to compare it to JAWS, but also to Harlequin as well. And so we've been able to mature Apex to the point where it's able to, meet the challenge of the GWG suite, which, is no mean feat, as you well know. We're very pleased with the development so far, and we've got customers that we've got excited about it. One of the characteristics of Apex, obviously, is that it relies on having a GPU available. So that doesn't suit every situation. We've been in discussion with a potential customer who's cloud-based, and we thought, well, maybe Apex isn't going to be so good in the cloud because GPUs are typically not available, with provisioned machine images. But I was very wrong, and it turns out that it wasn't difficult to get a provisioning a virtual machine on AWS, on Amazon Web Services, and also on Azure with a GPU, so that we're able to run with the Apex renderer.
That opens up, I start to think about that. That opens up a lot of possibilities for better integration with customer types of input, the onboarding process, if you will.
Yeah. Well, that you raise a very good point, because a lot of our Mako customers are more interested in web solutions than they are desktop solutions, because their customers are typically, submitting jobs via some kind of web portal, and so being able to visualize those in the web context is important to them, and being able to deal with them in the cloud, rather than having to pull those files down to a central, on-prem server or something like that. And it's certainly the way that our customers are thinking. So, and Apex seems to suit that environment as well.
You've got people who are interested. When can we expect to see the first implementations, kind of in the wild, if you will?
Well, I can't say exactly, but I would expect some announcements this year of some Apex-based developments. I shall say no more, but we're pleasantly pleased with how Apex has been accepted, and we have customers who are genuinely excited about it, as we are.
Well, David, that's great. I'm glad to hear it. It's great to catch up, and look forward to seeing the first implementation, and probably many more, because I know that even with the case of JAWS, you guys have been fairly well distributed out in the marketplace. So this is only going to get better, I can imagine.
Yeah. We're excited about the possibilities, and there's no doubt.
Well, cheers, man. It's good to see you.
Yep, you too. Thank you, David.